Welcome to Decades, hosted by Chris Rubio. Decades is a show made up of 5 generations of people brought together to discuss topics you wouldn't normally talk about with others. The goal of the show is to learn by having some good, possibly heated discussions, without losing the simple fact that it's okay to talk to different people with different opinions other than your own.
What's up? My name is Chris Rubio, host of Decades on the NGBN.TV network. We've got a great panel. I'm going to introduce all of them in a little bit, but first, let's jump out of the gate very, very hot. AC, I'm going to start with you because your name has the name sports in it. If you could play on one sports franchise, who would it be and why and when? Go.
The 2017 Philadelphia Eagles. Fly, Eagles fly. I want to play with Nick Foles, baby, and run the Philly special.
Wow, that was a very good answer, and I'm pumped because I thought you might take my answer, and I wanted to get it out of the way so I had time before I came back to my answer. Bill Geiser, what is your thought?
The 93, 94, 96 Dallas Cowboys, not just because they won the Super Bowl then, but it was before mobile phones were out. We'd have a lot of fun.
That's what 100%. There was no social media. You could do whatever you want, and everyone in the crowd was actually watching the game as well. They weren't tweeting, texting, doing all that good stuff. Bazinet says 1886 New York Giants. Yeah, that was a pretty damn good team right there. Kyle Varnell, 20s from Nashville. Who do you got?
I would have to go with the that Miami team with like Greg Olson and all those guys on it. I mean, come on. You're in Miami. They got that rap song. They're the bad boys. You're just living the dream. You get to do whatever you want in Miami.
All right. Gru, I'm assuming this is some soccer club?
Yes, I would be playing for Manchester United in the era when David Beckham was playing.
When was that?
Like 2010, 2009, 2010, that kind of era. Before he moved to Real Madrid.
Sheldon, 89 Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Okay. On that team?
I was going to say, weren't you on that team? The 85 Bears have been cool. Any group that is a damn rap song. And Gru, was Dave Bradley on that team, or is Dave Bradley older than that?
No, he was playing in like 75, 76, 77. He was older. I mean,
okay.
He was much older, yeah.
I got you. A new panel member, 30s, Guy. I can't pronounce your year. I say your whole full name. I can't pronounce it.
Guillaume Poirier. You got to put me on the spot like that, man.
Fantastic. I'm going to put you on the spot again. Yeah. Now, tell me, what franchise?
1996 Colorado Avalanche. I follow my hero, Patrick Roy. He flips the bird to Montreal and goes to Colorado. Quebec City loses their hockey team, moves to Colorado, and they win the cup that first year. So that's where I want to be, man.
That's good. Damn nasty right there. He said that, put that because he wanted me to say Saskatchewan or Saskatchewan. I can't pronounce these damn Canadian words. Okay. Don't forget to watch the Ride with Chevy and Nasty tonight at 10. And also don't forget to watch AC Sports Live at 9. Right, AC? 9? No. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Let's go.
Charles Schultz, before we get to me, sports franchise, go.
Yeah, I got 2 actually. It's either the early 90s Bills because I'm on the team we're going to win the Super Bowl instead of lose it. Or the mid-90s Indians, because again, I'm going to win the World Series instead of lose it. So I'm going to be the difference maker. I don't want to join a team that's already great. I want to make them great. So put me on that squad. Let's go.
I like that. I like that confidence, the deciding factor. I was going to go mid-80s Lakers, obvious Showtime with Magic, Kareem, Worthy, was it Bob McAdoo, Michael Cooper, all those guys. That would have been
before Twitter. Yeah.
Before Twitter, before Magic got Henry IV, all that good stuff, allegedly, all that good stuff. That would have been a good time. Sub 60 Ed, you're on TV, so I'm assuming you want to be heard from.
Oh, absolutely. I know there's people out there watching want to know what team I want to be on. Come on now. You know that.
I have so many obvious answers that I'm going to hold right now.
Yeah, exactly, because we'll lose all the audience, right? No, I got to be. It has to be the Redskins in the mid '80s when they were winning the Super Bowls.
Oh, with the Hogs.
With the Hogs and Doc Walker and John Riggins. I'd like to play with John Riggins. He was one of my all-time favorites.
All right, I like that.
Well, good. I'm glad you approve.
Sub question: who are the top 2 white running backs of all time? AC, I'm going to you immediately.
Zonka Riggins.
Yes.
Ooh, that came out hot.
I mean, not hot, but he's a
Christian McCaffrey.
That's not a running back. That's a moving wall.
Christian McCaffrey.
Too young.
Christian McCaffrey. AC, you don't even have him in your top 2?
Not yet. He's only played 5 good seasons.
Okay. Sub question. Charles Schultz. With Larry Zonka, are those guys, the people that were that good back then, would they be as good now?
Yeah, absolutely. Because they would have the benefit of today's training, and they were dogs for different reasons. You know, a lot of it's, you know, that mentality to stick your nose in there and do things a little bit tougher, a little bit rougher. And I think if you give them the training of today, they're every bit as good. We haven't advanced that far as humans. We're not evolving that quickly. There's better technology, there's better training, there's better gear. Those guys would be just as good.
Tell him, Chuck.
Sub question. Bill Geiser. Michael Phelps. Is he the greatest swimmer of all time? And is it even close?
Yeah, he is the greatest of all time. And there is someone that's pretty close, and that's Katie Ledecky.
Okay. And if they race, how much would he beat her by?
Oh, he beat her like a drum.
Oh. Bless her heart.
Yeah.
Bless his heart.
I mean, just because he's a guy, she's a girl, you know?
Yeah.
I said it. but you know, there's just no comparison. But in her class, she is the most dominant swimmer maybe in history. She's unbelievable. She's fantastic. But you know, you got to give it to Phelps for winning 26 medals, 23 of them gold. That guy was not only a machine in terms of work ethic, but he's like a Michael Jordan when it comes to wanting to win and knowing how to win. He's special.
I used to love when they would always put out what his meals were, how he ate like 10,000 or 20,000 calories a day. I used to eat vicariously through that guy because he was just crushed.
He's probably doing 80,000 meters a week. Think of that. That's a lot. A lot of it hard.
I knew Rubio. I knew Rubio at 300 pounds. He was pretty close.
Oh, yeah. You tell me it's not normal to get a baker's dozen of chocolate chip bagels and use a pint of strawberry cream cheese like chips and salsa?
Don't skip out the 13th one. The 13th bagel was a part of the dozen.
Yeah, well, obviously. Okay, Varnell, last question real quick before we move on. Guy has never been to a wedding, right?
Uh-huh.
He's coming into Nashville for a wedding. He's got 2 days beforehand. Where are you taking him to have a good time?
Oh, that's easy. We're going to Broadway, and we're either going to go to Aldean's or Tin Roof. We want to save money, and then we got to end at Kid Rock's. Best places.
All right, he's going to have a good time?
Yes, easily.
Okay, now
save money though. That's where you want to go in between to bring back the dollars. Drinks are like $5-6. You're good. Okay.
Last question before we go to commercial. Gru, you're taking Varnell. He's 6'5", 230 pounds. He's like a Labrador puppy on speed. He's super, super hyper and all over the place. You're taking him back to Russia, Ukraine, wherever you want to take him. Where are you taking him to visit?
Well, I wouldn't want to take him to Russia or Ukraine now because there is a war, okay? Eventually, when the war is over, I would probably take him to Kiev and show him all the good places. You know, I have a relative who lives there, and she would show us a good time.
You have a what there?
I have a relative who lives in Kiev, and she would show
relative. Okay. The accent got a little thick because you got fired up. I did not hear relative. All I heard was she and good time.
Well, she's married.
All right. On that note, Sub 60 Ed Tickets commercial. We're going to come back with topic number 2.
You have been watching Decades, a show on the NGBN.TV network.
1 week after launching our exclusive sneak peek, NGBN TV was live for 3 days of continuous coverage from Super Bowl 58 in Las Vegas.
NGBN TV is live from Las Vegas for Super Bowl 58.
The one-of-a-kind streaming TV network for men in their 40s, 50s, and 60s was the conversation for the big game about men's mental health. In the world of athletes, celebrities, and influencers, we're on notice. But we're just getting started with new partnerships announced like the Team Nike 3-on-3 Championship and new platforms available to download the NGBN TV app. So, what are you waiting for? Download the app today from your favorite streaming device or check us out at ngbn.tv. This is NGBN TV.
Welcome back to Decades. Take it away, Rubio.
All right, welcome back to Decades. This is season 2, episode 12. Next topic, AI, artificial intelligence. Are you concerned it will take over? Are you concerned it will take over? AC, I'm not going to come to you first, but did you see the latest thing with the LSU female basketball player? How there's AI generated images going around, and she's having to backtrack and say, no, that's not me, that's not me, that's not me. This is becoming a little bit of a, well, not a little bit, a lot of bit of concern. AC, I actually will start with you. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, it's funny. I have to talk about this pretty soon to some delegates, some staff members of some colleges, and some parents, because we have to get in front of it, man. It's here. There's no way to put the genie back in the bottle. Can't be afraid of it. Got to get in front of it so we can control it and be aware of it. But I know there are some hiccups. It's not perfect. It's going to be major mistakes made because all it's doing is compiling information from the internet when we know the internet is a dark place. So, we're headed to a place we're not familiar with, which is always scary. But so was calculators, and so were CDs, and so were, downloads. So everything is just new. We just got to get in front of it so we can have more knowledge about it.
Bill Geiser, you're the tech guy. What are your thoughts on this?
I think there's a lot of hype about it. Okay. I think AC kind of talked about some technologies in the past that freak people out. I'll give you the best example. It reminds me of the early days of search. In the early days of search, when Alta Vista was probably the biggest, best known early leader in search. You type stuff in and half the responses you got back were shit. The reason Google took a lead is they hid their shit. That's all they did. They just hid it. And if you compare to what's happening on generative AI today, you get a lot of false information in there. It's natural. And I think we're going to follow the same path. My view is AI is not going to replace humans. It's not going to threaten humans, but humans with AI are going to replace humans without AI. Meaning, get on it now. Learn it. It's your friend. It's going to augment your intelligence, not going to replace it.
Boom.
Okay, I pick up what you're saying. But how do we fix it? Or Charles Schultz, do you feel like there's a fix of it, of where everyone that's dumping into AI, where you have these new ones where the Amazon one where it just says show me pictures of the Pope, and it's all blacks and Mexican popes. Or instead of, you can say, show me Catholic popes, and it's going so far one way. It's very left leaning, whoever's loading up all the information. Is there a way to fix that? Or are we just going to keep waiting for the left leaning, so, quote unquote nerds to filter out before someone else gets involved?
I think those types of programs, when they come out and they're flawed like that, they'll weed themselves out, because people who are using AI don't want to be stuck in a place where they're having to do more work. The idea behind AI is to, like Bill said, augment what you know and make your life easier. And if it's making your life harder, you're going to shy away from using it. So once you go there and you repeatedly get the wrong information, or you're getting sent to weird places where it's nothing that you're looking to try to implement into your workflow, you're going to start to look elsewhere. And I think that those types of things will, slowly weed themselves out, and others that are performing better will take the lead, and more people will use those, and you'll just see them drop by the wayside. Go
ahead, Bill.
So what Charles is talking about is Google Gemini. And it's amazing. Most of the technologies that are associated with generative AI were actually invented at Google. I mean, it's been around for the core technologies have been around for the last decade or so. It's only been recently that they put them together and started to produce real products. What you're seeing at Google is systemic problems resulting from a broken culture, not a broken technology, a broken corporate culture that prioritizes the ideology of DEI, really, if you have to boil it down to something, over excellence and good business judgment. And what's amazing, it's kind of ironic, is that this emphasis on DEI is now pushing disinformation into the world. I mean, DEI was supposed to get rid of all that shit, and now it's in a product pushing it. And so this stuff is going to get fixed quickly because there's so much money and so many different companies going after this thing. A good product will surface, and the bad ones will get flushed out. We'll fix these problems.
Guys, Bill Geiser's coming in hot. Just giving you a heads up again. Varnell, you're nodding your head. What's your thoughts on this?
I mean, I used AI today at work. It was pretty incredible. I got a bunch of emails to send out. I'm in sales, and I got them, and then I put it all through, and it wrote code for me, and it automatically sent everyone a personalized email with what I wanted to say with attachments. And I finished my leads and reach outs in 20 minutes, which would usually take me like 4 hours.
Wow.
And how long did it take for you to learn how to do that?
I didn't have to learn how to do anything. I just asked it to write a code and put this message in it, and then it would write it for me and gave me instructions on how to put it back into my Excel and email and do everything.
Speak to it like an intern.
It's step by step. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Okay, Guy, are you frozen? What do you do? Is Guy frozen, or is he just the best mime of all time?
His lights even stopped.
He's a mime.
Yeah, maybe he's frozen. It's in Canada. It could be cold. Gru, Alex on Tech, what's your thoughts on this? Because I know you're in this industry.
I kind of agree with Bill. I think if there is a competition between various AI providers or pushers, the best one will always win. Okay, that will solve the whole problem with false information and misinformation. If there is a competition, like competition in any other industry.
Okay. I think the issue here is, and we're talking about this with Google Gemini and all that good stuff, is the fact where it's so one way. My two issues with it right now are it's so one way. So like if someone writes in, give me black-owned businesses. I think I've put that on one of the things, or I sent that to someone. Show me black-owned businesses. Like, no problem. Here you go. Here's black-owned businesses in your area. But if you say, show me white-owned businesses, that's not a good thing. We're not going to do that. You can't do that. It's like, well, if you're going to do one, you got to do the other. That's one apprehension. And then the second one is, what if the AI capabilities where, and I think AC, one of the earlier decade shows we talked about this, where some girl was suing some kid because he created an AI image of her naked and was sharing it around school, and it looked extremely new. And I mean, you guys being in the educational field, that's one of those things where that could be very, very scary, especially if you have daughters. Like all of a sudden this guy's putting this picture of this girl with these 7 dudes and she's naked, and you're like, that's not her. But then, it's becoming so real. How do you prove it?
I would like to just jump in here. I just find it kind of, I'm not sure if ironic's the right word, but as I came up in school, I never saw anyone in my history books that looked like me. So I didn't think we existed. So now when you can't find a white person on Google Gemini, I'm like, isn't that funny? Isn't that like a slap in the head that no longer, as they're trying to right the wrongs of history or critical race theory being removed from the history books, it's just now all of a sudden, oh my God, this is not right. Now you know how I felt as a young person. I don't exist.
Well, it not only covers the race thing, but if you ask Google Gemini to condemn pedophilia, it won't do that either.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Yeah, doesn't it call him maths minor attracted person?
That's what I'm saying. It's the result of a broken culture, not a broken technology.
Overdoing it.
Yeah.
To
I always
appease those
think it
who
when
don't
I'm
want to
finished,
feel.
though. I don't, just in case they would take
Oh,
over.
yeah.
The people that
Always
build
think it.
these things, they build models and they run data through it and train it. Human beings are the one creating the training sets for this thing. And if human beings are biased, then that bias is going to show up in the code.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what's happening. You've got a mindset. I mean, working at Google is like living in an authoritarian country where only certain views are permitted.
Like China.
Yeah, like China. And if you speak against those views, the commissar lines you up and.
Good God. Guy, what are your thoughts on this now that you're not doing your pantomime act anymore?
Yeah, I guess I froze up there. The only thought that comes up is on bias, like I think was brought up. I think there was a video I saw where they asked an AI to create a Barbie from different countries. And I think like a Brazilian Barbie would always have a big butt, or a Barbie from like the Congo would have like an AK-47, things like that. You know what I mean? So you got to be careful. If we're relying on this as a tool, there's bias built into it. So yeah,
bias is a
David,
safe word.
do you think AI will also get so smart it will start to teach itself without a human?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I just saw the movie Ex Machina. That was kind of frightening.
Yeah, it's not just imagination. It's the real deal.
Yeah, that's not a good thing. What happens if they start to get pissed off? Because I mean, he built one and she got pissed off at him and she ended up killing him. Not that I just gave away the entire movie, but
I told you I went to a conference and the guy was explaining what the input and the data was bringing in was the different personalities of the world. So you can make a selection, like a menu of the type of woman you want. You can program your next woman to be an AI woman, and she will be toxic, loving, caring, smell a certain way, speak a certain way, have a response, have jokes to tell. All this stuff is programmable because of all the information and data that they're receiving from around the world.
There's a movie about that called The Stepford Wives.
Yeah.
Bill's winning, man. Bill's winning.
Someone just asked, you guys didn't see it, they came out real quick. They wanted to know if that woman would have a mute button.
Absolutely.
That's a good one.
Just curious. Okay, so the next topic we're going to get to is going to be how would we handle the Ukraine and Israel issues? I think we should just jump on it right now. I'm going to go to Varnell to start. How would you handle Ukraine and Israel issues?
To be honest, sorry, I have a fight in the background. But to be honest, I would. I'm honestly, if I was leading, I would leave it alone. We have way more issues in our own country to deal with before we can deal with anybody else, and it's evident that we're throwing all our money into that instead of our own issues. Look at our border. Look at the homeless issue. I mean, it's ridiculous.
So you're just saying let's start with our own house.
Yeah,
then we'll help the neighbors
fix
out
that
later.
home before we fix others. What do they say on the airplanes? Put on your mask before you put on anybody else's. Worry about yourself before the others.
They do say that. Charles Schultz, what are your thoughts on this?
I partly agree with what Kyle's saying there, but I also think that we are still, in some shape or form, the world police in a sense. What I don't like is we're like half in. Stop just throwing money to another country and saying, here, you handle it with our money. Be in or be out. If we're going to go handle stuff, go handle stuff. Send our people there, take care of business, set up shop, be done with it, and that's the end of it. Or say, all right, you know what? This is your mess. When it's over, then we'll come in and clean it up. But either way, we're going to be in it some way at some point. Be in or be out. None of this 1 foot in the water, testing it out, seeing if it's cold. Jump in or get out of the pool.
Sheldon's got a great comment right here. It says the world would change for the worse while you're working on your own backyard, though. That is a good point. I hate to ride the fence here, but as the host, I can do that. That is a good point. But it's also, at what point do we have to always keep helping others? And, you know, why can't we look to someone else and say, hey, you guys, why don't you just help piggyback us and not just throw $1 billion over? Like, you get some troops, you do this. It seems to me, maybe that's because I'm just here and I'm selfish, that the United States seems to be doing a majority of the heavy lifting. Bill Geiser?
I would treat them separately. With the Ukraine, I channel my inner Harry Truman. You know, the buck stops here. And I'd say, you don't get another dollar until we have a detailed forensic accounting of what happened to the other $100 billion I just gave you. I want to know where every single dollar has been spent, because I don't trust them. And you know who else I don't trust? U.S. politicians. I want to keep everyone honest. That's number one. Number two, every dollar given to them from this point forward is not given. It's a loan, and I want to make money on it. With Israel, it's real simple. We don't negotiate with terrorists.
Yes.
Send all the hostages back, and every single one of the terrorists we haven't killed already needs to turn themselves in. Then we'll talk. Otherwise, it's war.
AC, you're shaking your head. Talk to me.
Bill's winning. Who else needs to speak on this topic except Bill?
Bill's so hot.
Bill's been thinking about this for weeks. Like, he knows this topic. I don't have anything, man. Like, as a man of faith, the Bible says in the end times there'll be wars and rumors of war, and that's what I always see when I turn on the television. That's why I don't turn it on. War is always around. I think Bill has the greatest, solution. Talk to the people straight up. No more just handing money out so that we don't get our problems fixed here. Like Kyle says, I agree. We have problems here. I mean, Ali's the greatest of all time because he stood up for that problem right there. We got problems here in America, and we're helping other people.
Right.
But at the same time, we're going broke doing it. So it doesn't make any sense to me. So I put prayer on it. I pray about it, but I know I can't fix certain things by me just talking about it and protesting and picketing. So what can I really do except hope that people like Bill Geiser goes for president and get some stuff done?
I agree. I'll be the Speaker of the House. Nasty just had a great one. He says, how about NATO splits the rest of the bill? I'm more than okay with that. Like, why not? Okay. Gru.
Well, I agree with Bill. Any help that is given to Ukraine from now on, and what was given to Ukraine was supposed to be a loan, not just free money. Use it, spend it, hide it, pocket it. Like basically has to be accountability, okay, on Ukrainian part, and they have to pay it back eventually, whenever it happens. With Israel, I also agree with Bill. Basically Hamas needs to be eradicated, and if there is no more Palestinians, those militias living in Gaza, it would be peace. Plain and simple.
Yeah. It's one of those things, the whole Israel-Hamas thing, it's very bizarre. Like, I'm not understanding the whole, what they're fighting about or what's going on, or like, why do they hate the Jews so much? And I have a couple buddies that are Jews, and I go, well, why do people hate you? What am I missing here? Like, what's going on? Like, what's with the rage? I don't understand. Go ahead, Gru.
Well, actually, both Palestinians and Jews they're both actually Semites. They basically came from the same root, and at some point, I guess they split because maybe Jews were doing better and Palestinians were like envious, okay, of Jews, and even now they're envious. They're telling their kids, "Hey, look, on that fence, that kind of separates Gaza and Israel. Looks how great they look, they live, and how bad we are, and it's their fault." Okay, and the whole, teaching in school, teaches kids, okay, you need to hate Israel, you need to kill them, and they shouldn't exist, so they can take their stuff. Okay, that's really the problem.
Right there, and it was phenomenal. That was a lot of information. You're coming for Bill's title right now, and I liked it a lot. We're going to end with Guy. Guy, what is your thoughts on this, if you have any?
Oh, man. My only thought is I don't know enough about the history, the politics, the culture, the religion, or the conflict to speak to this. My only thought is we need to stop killing each other, man. Like, there's better ways to resolve problems. So that's all I got to say.
Yeah, ideally.
Amen, brother.
I think that's a good one. That's a good one to end on. We'll come back with what generation is the best. So you guys start thinking about it right now. Over and out, Sub 60. Take us out.
You have been watching Decades, a show on the NGBN.TV network.
This tip is about using a secure password manager. How much time do you lose trying to remember forgotten passwords? The average person spends 12 days of their life searching for their login credentials. 1Password and Keeper are secure online password managers you can use to manage and store this information. They integrate with your web browser so you can log into websites and other services seamlessly, saving you tons of time guessing or getting locked out of what you need. This tool can also generate secure passwords for you, making your accounts harder to hack. This tip for NGBN TV network is brought to you by Alex on Tech.
Come back to Decades. Take it away, Rubio.
That was another good one, Gru. I like that one a lot. All right, let's go to Kyle Varnell. Kyle Varnell out of Nashville, Tennessee. He's in his 20s. Bazinet says, peace through strength, and our leadership is not strong in the world right now. I would agree with that 1,000%, 1,000,000,000%. Kyle Varnell, 20s, out of Nashville. Like I already said, 6'5", cat lover, probably 235 pounds, 236 pounds. Enjoys a good
No, not anymore, Rubio. I'm down 205.
Nice. Oh, Jesus. Okay. God love you. Which generation is the best? Let's do should we do? Okay, we'll do a show of hands. You guys want to do generations that we see on screen right now, or all the generations?
All the generations.
Okay, all the generations it is. Varnell, go.
I'm gonna be a wild card. I don't think it really matters. I think everyone just needs to do their part when they're here and make it better for everyone when they're out. It's just as simple as that. I don't like blaming other generations for what they're doing. It's as a group, you just got to leave it as best you can while you're here.
Okay, Varnell, no kumbaya. I want an answer. Nice try.
What do you? I don't.
Around
you
the flowers.
You want me to say like millennials or something? No.
I want to say what you think. I want you to look, because if you look at the 60s generation and go, Bill Geis's generation, they haven't done anything. Or the 50s said they haven't done anything. 40s, Charles Schultz, he doesn't know what he's doing. Okay? Or 50s with AC. Which generation, or go back even farther? I don't care. Which generation do you think is the best?
Are you asking me?
No. I'm
still
Kyle. Yeah, I'm not getting to let him get away with that. Kumbaya.
If I had to pick any out of this group, I would say the 40s. I think they're my favorite generation at the moment.
Why?
I mean, they're knowledgeable. They're gone through everything that I'm about to go through, like pretty recent. So you can still talk to them, trust them. You see them as like an older person you can reach out to, and then you can also still hang out and have fun with them. And that's what I like to do. So I think that's why they're the best in my opinion, at least now.
Okay, so just to clarify, you think Alex, AC, and Bill are old, not smart, and not fun.
Hey,
just
wrong.
Okay, Guy from Canada, my main man.
Yeah, I think the greatest generation is actually called the greatest generation. The guys that went through Second World War and went through all that hardship and fought for our freedom and all that stuff. So, man, those guys went through it all. They made sacrifices, and I don't think there's many. I don't know. I think we're kind of a weak generation these days. We complain about a lot of stuff. We've got it pretty good.
Yeah, if anyone doesn't think that and this is my 2 cents right here, you need to watch the show Band of Brothers. If you have not seen the Band of Brothers, I was watching that show and thinking about 3/4 of the time, how are they doing this? What's going on? Like, it's just insane. Like, it's cold. Can we light a fire? No, they could see it. Here, just put this metal hat on and call it a day. We're going to eat this cold food again and again and again. And then the Pacific after that, then it's hot and it's disgusting. And like, I'm out. You're just not doing it. Bill Geiser, your thoughts?
I have to agree. I think it's the greatest generation. They really set the bar high. The baby boomer generation, of which I'm a part, sits on right now over 50% of the wealth in the United States. And they haven't really done what I think they should be doing with that wealth. There's still time. Maybe they'll step up. We'll see.
Okay. Charles Schultz.
I mean, it's hard to argue with the men who went through World War II and survived through all that. It's really hard to challenge that as any generation being better. But if you're looking at the group that we have here, I think that, again, I'm biased. My generation has the benefit of having been raised through some of the technology, so we're not completely ignorant to the things that are coming, where a lot of older people, unlike Bill, who's in it, have trouble with some of the technology and the advancements, where I think a lot of the younger generation is soft and babied and coddled. And this early 50s through early 40s, that generation of 10-year stretch had tough times, was raised a little different, went through some of the growing pains of technology, and has that balance to kind of, I guess, more or less bridge the gap between the generations as they come and go. And I think that makes us in a good spot to step up and be some leaders and start to take things on.
I like that. I like that a lot. AC Sports Live coming up at 9 p.m. Pacific. What do you got?
I had to look it up because sometimes I forget about the great generation. You have the silent generation, baby boomers, Gen X, millennials, Gen Z, and now Gen Alpha. Of course, I'm going to say X because I'm X, and we've had to, like Chuck said, we've been through both sides of it. We got the tough love from the baby boomers who taught us how to be tough and not say no and get things done. And then you got the millennials who come after us. We had to teach those guys and raise them up. So we had to do that job. But, taking nothing away from the previous generations that had to go through what they went through. However, we only had one area of focus back in the those days where, you know, we weren't equal. I have to go back. I'm the black guy on the show where we weren't equal here in America. So I think if you think about Gen X, we had to go through a lot of civil rights to get some equality around here. So we could be more of a one nation with a, you know, one nation under God type of feel. So I think Gen X being beneficiaries of baby boomer technology and teaching and, you know, the little stuff that we did get from them as far as, you know, the future, we did get some core family values from them. Whereas the future, this little, this new family structure that's coming about, I'm not always for it, but it's here and I understand it. I don't always condone it, but I have to be able to adapt to it and be flexible and be able to grow with it.
I got to ask, what are you talking about, the new family structure? Are you talking about not a man and a woman?
Yeah,
Is that what you're saying?
Adam and Steve.
Oh, I got you. I pick up what you're dropping right there. Okay. I hear it. Did we get everyone? Gru, did I get you?
No.
No, Gru, go ahead.
Okay, I think it's the greatest generation. For example, my family lost my grandpa. You know, he was killed during the war fighting Nazis, and two of my uncles came back from the war gravely injured. One of them basically had one of his hands, like basically, you know, hanging by his skin. And my other uncle, he had like a shrapnel all over his body, and he lived with that shrapnel for like 50 years until he died. Because it was more dangerous to remove the shrapnel than to leave it in. Okay, so
Okay, we'll go sub question off this right now. I just thought of this. You pick the biggest and baddest of each generation, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. Okay, who wins in a fight? Charles Schultz, I'm coming to you first. Like what you know in your 40s. Okay, so you like in your 40s, you pick the toughest guy that's grown up, done whatever, blah, blah, blah. Okay, he's fighting against someone in their 20s, and he's their baddest. And just say like conditioning, cardio-wise, they're pretty equal. I'm just saying who's tougher, mentally, physically?
If I'm fighting somebody in their 20s?
No, not you, a mythical creature.
No, I'm just saying, like somebody 40 fighting somebody in their 20s,
but
clearly the 40s guy is tougher.
There's
no chance. Now, if I'm fighting somebody who went through World War II, I'm getting smashed.
Okay, but
I don't have the chance.
Why are you beating the 20s? Why are you beating the 20s?
We've already talked about this. They're soft. They've been coddled. Mommy does everything. They carry them through. Like Kyle's an outlier. Don't let him fool you. Don't let him fool you. That's not a normal 20-year-old, right? Like Kyle knows. I'm sure he's walked the halls and been like, bro, what the hell? Like, no, stop acting like that. Why are you crying? The test was hard.
Schultz is essentially asking you a question. Is that true? What he's saying? Are you an outlier? Do you walk down the street and see a lot of Varnells or no Varnells?
No, not
How many people you see in safe spaces at school?
Thank God I went to school in Louisiana in the South. We didn't have any of that. It was very.
See, you're lucky. You're an outlier.
Yeah, I would say you see it more in the South than you do anywhere, though. If you were to look around, and
you see more what?
Why?
Yeah,
we are raised right down here.
I get it. Okay. This is what you're saying. Yeah, it's different. I travel the country for my camps all the time. I can tell you, you could have 5 kids come up to me and talk to me for 5 minutes each. I can tell you exactly what state they're from without even them telling me. I can tell you very, very quickly, very easy. Okay, you're from the Northwest, you're from Texas, you're from California, you're from Arizona, you're from the Midwest, and not even on accents. You're from the South. It's very easy to say. Charles, did you want to say something?
Yeah, Ruby, have you seen that video of the training of high school kids from what year was that? Was it the 70s, 60s, 70s? They showed it where they were doing like push-ups, pull-ups, running miles, sprinting, and there's zero chance if you put a high school through that today that anyone's surviving.
Oh, God, no.
That was just second nature. That's how you lived, right? You lived with this, I'm going to go hard, I'm going to get outside, I'm going to be active, I'm going to be healthy. And you see pictures of like people from the beach back in the day. They're all lean. They may not have been like muscle bound, steroided up, but they looked good. They were healthy. They were strong. They were fit. And now, we're eating too much fast food and Cheetos.
Well, look at Bill Geiser. He's in his 60s. Looks like a damn Adonis. Okay. AC Sports Live. What would you say?
I would always ask, when did it change? Like I was a little, crybaby until I stepped off the porch and joined the team. And I was able to be coddled by my mom inside the house. But when I stepped outside on Easy Avenue and Willie McGinnis lived across the street and Marquez Pope lived down that street and Mark Carrier lived down this street, and I had some real alphas on the block. And I had, gangbangers over here, and you had, guys over here, and you had to really like man up and be a tough guy or stay in the house. Now, I think us parents, I just sent you a little text group. It might be a question for the group. Where did we go wrong? Like, my son's a tough guy because I didn't let my wife coddle him to a point where he wasn't going to be able to handle himself as a young man. Like, I knocked the doll out of his hand when he was a little kid. I was like, this is not what we do. We go outside, and you don't come in the house crying about you got hurt. You rub it, and you keep playing. You keep going. But there's somewhere where kids stop being tough. Like, boys used to jump off the roof, and we used to do things that were dangerous, and we used to pick up snakes, and we used to get bit by spiders, and you were scared to tell your mom because you were playing with fire, whatever it was. But there was some point where we stopped keeping score at the basketball games or whatever it was, giving everybody gets a trophy. I don't know what happened. What happened to our kids?
Yeah, I get you. I mean, you know how I parent. You heard the story about Cruz in the shower, where I hose him down to the damn front yard. And I think I've said it on this show several times, where anytime Damon Dale, my 12-year-old, he gets a participation trophy, we take it, walk in the garage, boom, right in the trash. I go, you're not getting a trophy just for participating. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, and I don't care. Sub 60, you're on again. What do you want?
You're also muted.
So he needs intro music every time. Like a
you muted yourself.
Like Stone Cold Steve Austin music. That's what you need.
No, he's coming with the Mario Brothers music.
No, not Mark. No, AC said his dad didn't coddle him and his mom did coddling. I wish my dad told me, as the oldest of four, this is what you have to do. This is your roles and responsibilities as the oldest. And I would have to take if my brother, who's 7 years younger than me, wanted to go out and hang out with us, he was going. I had no choice, and as I told you, my father was a 6'4" Marine, so it was yes sir, no sir. That's kind of how I roll. But yeah, I agree with you, AC. I've tried to figure out where we've it changed, and I've just like raising kids in the 2000s. Something changed in society somewhere, and I just
the internet. No accountability for what you say anymore. You can say whatever you want and not have to face the facts or the fear.
There you go. And you know what? I see stuff like us Gen Xers, when we didn't have the internet, we would be able to go out. If you had something to say to me, you'd say it to my face.
You didn't like it, you got hit.
And you got hit. Right, exactly. Very good, Kyle. You are an outlier.
About the football field. If you don't like it, you do something about it.
Varnell, that's actually a great point. You're coming for Bill Geisler's title right now, because I always say, like my show, The Rubio Method, that's every Tuesday at 4 p.m., I always say, hey, if you want to argue with me, because you know me, I love to argue, you can literally come on the show. You can type in ngbn.tv, click on it, click on The Rubio Method, click on the yellow sweatshirt, and they'll come on live with me and we can talk whatever you want. Because if you see any of my posts on TikTok or YouTube Shorts, people are going at me left and right. I've said to Bill all the time where this guy's calling me an idiot, I'm a racist homophobe, I'm such a piece of crap, blah, blah. And I'm like, hey, man, I will send an invite. Feel free to come on the show and we can argue all day. Unfortunately, not one person's ever done it. And I think Varnell has a great point that everyone's just these keyboard warriors. And I think Mike Tyson has the quote
everybody has a plan. Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth.
Yeah. Yep. And no one gets punched in the mouth anymore. So, I mean, this is a real big issue. And so Varnell, go ahead, AC.
That's the issue, that it's a kind of a tangent, but they're like, why don't people respect LeBron James? Because he hasn't punched anybody in the mouth yet. It's a different generation where if you hit Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as soft-spoken, as eloquently spoken he was, as learned as Kareem was, he will punch you in the mouth if you did something dirty to him. Akeem Olajuwon, very astute, very studious, but you do Akeem Olajuwon, he's going to punch you in the mouth. Nolan Ryan, you come at Nolan Ryan, he's going to thump you on the mound because it was a different day. You come and act crazy over here, you're getting punched in the mouth. Now you're going to get sued. Or now they're going to call the referees. Hey, she said something mean to me. Get her out of here. Different day.
And Nolan Ryan did that when he was like almost 50 when that guy, who was it?
Old man strength, man.
Robin Ventura.
Robin Ventura. He came out of him. He was like 20 years old. And Nolan Ryan's just going fist of cuffs on his. That was fantastic. You know what else is fantastic? Another commercial from ngbn.tv, and we'll come up with the final segment. We got about 9 minutes left. Sub 60. Take us away, my man. You're surrounded by people that care, yet you're completely alone. Register now. Learn to see the signs that someone is about to take their life. Live April 6th, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern, and again at 9 a.m., 11 a.m. Pacific time, streaming on all NGBN TV platforms. April 6th, equip ourselves to save a life. NGBN.TV. This will be headed up by Craig Hannum. He's a phenomenal human being. We're trying to get 100,000 people to do this across the world, not just the country. Make sure you register now and spread the word. NGBN.TV/save a life. As you guys know, this show started. The original OGs was me, Sub 60 Ed, AC, Bill Geiser, Cruz was on it, I think, a little bit, and then we had the judge. And in our 40s or 50s, we had Jim Gingrich
and Jimmy Mack.
And Jimmy Mack. Yeah,
and the judge.
Yeah, Emily Standard's watching right now. She's Jim Gingrich's daughter, and she knows the whole fact. I mean, we did episode 19. It was phenomenal, going great. Jim calls me on that Friday. We filmed on Thursday. Calls me Friday. Goes, that's exactly the way the show should go, Rubio. That's exactly. He was so pumped. And we talked about it. And on Sunday, Jim took his own life. Sunday, 48 hours after that, I remember I called every single person that was on that show and said, hey, I got to tell you something. And every single one of you said, what the hell are you talking about? And I go, exactly what I'm talking about. And it still affects me to this day. I still talk about it a lot. Still gets me. So we're trying as hard as we can to make sure that everyone knows to register for this April 6th event. Craig Hannum literally just texted me right now about it. He's fired up. He's going to be trying to get on everyone's shows to promote it as well beforehand. It's going to be a great event. Like AC said several times on AC Sports Live, that's coming on at 9. It's like CPR that we used to take, but on steroids. Okay, so just imagine that. And all you got to do is you just got to learn. We're not asking you to run a marathon or lay bricks. We're just saying, hey, guys, just learn these techniques so you know what to look for, you know what to do. Because don't think we all in decades don't think, did we miss something with Jim? You know, what? Because we're watching, and hell, I spoke to him 10 times a day, you know, and I'm like, was this a sign? Was this a sign? And we don't know. Okay. Yeah. The show, Emily, is definitely a bit different now, but still love to watch. And that right there is Jim Gingrich's. Cindy, his wife, gave it to me. So he's always on the show. He's always on the show. Let's go to a lighter subject now that we've got that. But don't forget Jim, obviously. What movie genre is the best, and what is your favorite movie? What movie genre is the best, and what is your favorite movie? Guy, I'm not going to go to you because you look depressed when I asked that, because I saw you immediately start to think. I'm going to go to Varnell because you've only been alive for like 11 hours. So what movie generation is the best, and what's your favorite movie?
Movie generation?
Or movie genre, excuse me.
Okay, good. I was ready for that one. I would have to say drama. I mean, honestly, my favorite movie is Django. It's a great movie. Masterpiece, great soundtrack, great cast. I mean, great story, funny. It had everything in it. Fantastic movie, but still drama. Amazing. I mean, you can't beat that genre of movies. I mean,
the whole Django thing. I wish Django. I wish they would have used the F-bomb a little bit more, though. I don't think they used it enough in that movie. just a tad more.
With Wolf of Wall Street, if they just used it one or two more times.
Alex on Tech, what's your favorite movie genre, and what's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie genre is action, and two of my favorite movie franchises are Rocky and Rambo. Stallone.
Sylvester Stallone, man, I got it. I didn't think you would like Rocky as much when Rocky IV, he takes down the Russians.
So what? I
don't know. The end. Bill Geiser, same question.
I looked this thing up today. Out of the 89 Academy Award Oscars for Best Picture, dramas won 53% of them. So drama's the biggest category. My favorite movie of all time, Saving Private Ryan.
Ooh. That opening scene of Saving Private Ryan, if you can get through that opening scene and have zero emotion, you're a droid. You're not even a human being.
So many life lessons in that movie.
Oh. Yeah, that end.
It's amazing.
What is he? Oh, Tom Hanks at the end say, earn this or something?
Yeah.
That's damn Jesus, Bill, guys. I'm about to watch that again. Guy.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting to have my man card revoked on my first appearance on the show, but my favorite movie is Across the Universe, and it's a musical.
Oh yeah, I know which one it is.
It's what really introduced me to the Beatles, and they had a big impact on my life when I was going through my rough time. So that movie just kind of always stuck with me. So
It's called Across the Universe.
Across the Universe, yeah, it's like one of their songs.
I've never even heard it.
But I'll throw out Joker as well. I like that movie, Joker. Hopefully that.
If you like chick flicks, that's fine. You don't have to deny that. My favorite. I'll step in for. I'll take my man card and put where proud. My favorite genre is rom-coms. I love them. I think they're fantastic. They're cute. They're lovable. No one dies, but it's one of those things that they're very entertaining. And my favorite movie of all time, I say it to this day, is Fools Rush In. I think that movie's hilarious, and Selma Hayek's a smoke show. So that's my number one. I think Chandler from Friends is hilarious throughout the whole thing. AC Sports Live coming on at 9 tonight. What's your favorite genre and movie?
You have me come after you. You said Fools Rush In. Of all the great movies in the history of movies.
I don't believe him either.
Phenomenal.
I don't
You
believe
mean recency bias? You watched it last night on cable?
No,
All right.
man.
Over Revenge of the Nerds, Rubio.
I'm saying, man, Revenge of the Nerds, bro.
You showed me that movie like twice. Three
Come on,
times.
man. The Tri-Lambs, man. I got a T-shirt. All right, I got a few, man. Prison movies. Shawshank Redemption, man. It's just it breaks down racial barriers. It has a lot of life lessons in there, and they get the revenge, everything in there, man. And then my action thriller, suspense, Usual Suspects, and then you got comedy, Coming to America. So I'm stuck between those three, somewhere in there.
Okay, so like I put a gun to your head. You have a DVD on an island. Don't ask me how it works. It just does. Which one of those three movies do you take?
I'm betting
The one
happy
with
to be
Sydney
here.
Sweeney.
The one with Sydney Sweeney. Yeah,
Coming to America, man.
Coming to America is very.
It just makes me laugh, man. It just makes me laugh. Every little small piece. It's him going to the bathroom. The guy said, "It is you." It's just funny to me. The small things they picked up on from being back east. I kind of know how hard and rough people are, and he's like, "Yes, yes," and everybody's cussing him out. It's just like it was just perfect, man. It's a perfect movie.
All right, Charles Schultz, same question.
I mean, I think you have to go drama as the greatest genre just because there's so many movies and it spans a lot because you can get action within drama. I like Gladiator and Braveheart and Patriot, and then you can also get love in the drama and you can go and slow it down. I mean, drama just spans too many different categories. If I was going to narrow it down, I'd go baseball drama is the best genre.
Moneyball.
My ball.
Dreams. The game, Moneyball.
Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams.
No father-son combo has ever watched Field of Dreams when he says you want to have a catch and not broken down. If you've watched that and not broken down, you're a liar.
Exactly.
And I will take your card away, man card and Gee's card already. But no, just kidding. There's no way. Sub 60. What? You're back on again.
Well, this movie genres, and I'm sure there's people out there watching. Out of the people that are watching, want to know what I'm thinking. You know
Literally
that.
no one wants to know.
Yeah, they do. Well, my first one, of course, is Wizard of Oz, and then Time Bandits.
I just saw Time Bandits again.
You better not say Willy Wonka.
And then Willy Wonka. The first one, not the one where Hugh Grant is the AI. No, but seriously, no. I gotta go with Alex on the Rambo, Rocky. I'm a huge Sylvester Stallone fan. Love
Rocky's
Rocky.
a drama.
There's no tomorrow,
Yes,
Rock.
the drama, and then exactly, and then also I'm a big MCU guy. All the MCU movies.
What the hell's MCU?
The Marvel Universe.
Marvel
Universe. Yeah, and he.
At least he has Marvel Comics. Rubio,
Yes.
you can talk about Mean Girls and Fools Rush In and
So
I've never seen Mean Girls. Should I watch that?
Barbie. Yeah. Oh, you'll love that one.
yes, and Guy, your man card's not being revoked if the host of the show sits there and talks rom-coms and
How do you guys think this is?
he watches Lifetime. He watches Lifetime
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
I have the app on my phone.
Yes, of course you do.
Don't you have two boys, Rubio? Do you have any girls? Are you a girl dad?
3 boys.
No girls?
No girls.
And you're watching Fools Rush In.
There we go. Enough said.
It's phenomenal.
I know why I watch Mean Girls. I got a girl. I'm a girl in the
You
house.
watch Glee too, Rubio?
You watch
Do I watch
Glee?
what?
Do you watch Glee? I feel like you'd like Glee.
No, I've never seen any Glee.
High School Musical?
No.
Sheesh.
There got to be powerful rom-coms for me to watch. On that note, Sub 60 Ed, I don't know if anyone's been chiming into your ear to pick who the winner is.
No, nobody's been chiming in, but it's got, you know what, we've never had a back-to-back winner.
Oh.
We're having our first back-to-back winner because Mr. Geyser brought it again tonight. Kyle, I'm sorry. Bill is and Guy as the new guys. You guys you're just up against a tough one. He's kind of bringing it.
Yeah,
I didn't know that was in a contest. I'll step it up next time.
Bill Geyser's been coming in hot. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Make sure you guys, everyone that watched on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, all that good stuff, we really appreciate it. Keep spreading the word. Keep trying to have real conversations like this. Try to tell people what you're into. Don't worry about what they're going to say, Guy, and let them know that rom-coms truly are the best movie genre, and to stand strong with your commitments and all that good stuff. On that note, don't forget April 6th, ngbn.tv / Save a Life? Yeah, Save a Life.
Save a Life, yes.
Save a Life. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, Bill. Good job, everybody. See you next time.
Thanks for watching Decades on the ngbn.tv network. Be sure to spread the word, and don't forget to subscribe, like, or follow